For the past 20 plus years, Hot Toys has made a name for itself within the market of 6-scale collectibles due to their hyper-realistic and extra-articulated action figures. But what makes these figures so special are undeniably the head sculpts. And today, we're going to be ranking the best Hot Toys head sculpts of all time. Well, what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel for a very special ranking video of the best Hot Toys head sculpts of all time. Recently on my TikTok and Instagram, I dropped a top 10 that was very well received, and the best part is that there was a ton of engagement from all of you, letting me know some figures that I may have missed. So today, you're not just getting a top 10, no, I've extended it to the top 15 best head sculpts of all time. But as always, before we get into that, speaking of Instagram and TikTok and subscribers in general, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel so that you always know when new, fresh content drops. I would certainly appreciate it. So go ahead and give me a presumptive like on this video, and please make sure that you are following me on Instagram and TikTok, because for each figure that I do end up showing, I'll be sharing some of my toy photography that is featured on Instagram. So you'll be getting real-time, in-hand pictures, not blogger photos, but real photos from me, so that we can make an accurate assessment of these head sculpts.
Now, this was not an easy task, being able to narrow down the 15 best head sculpts that Hot Toys has ever done, because over the past 20 years, their technology has gotten no doubt better, especially on some of the quarter scale figures. Do you count those? For these are going to be my personal top 15, so if I leave some off, no offense, but here we go. Right out of the gate is going to be a character that's probably not on everyone's favorite list, but that is the Mandarin from Iron Man 3. Now, it's not a very well-received film, but what you can undeniably say, it is an unbelievably well-done figure. You take a look at this and you can absolutely see that it's Sir Ben Kingsley and his portrayal of Trevor from the film. Now, this isn't the most exciting figure like I said, but I did like that he did have a redemption arc within Shang-Chi. So if you are looking for just an incredible overall well-done piece of art, this is definitely in my top 15. Now, people were shocked on my original Instagram reel when this was not within the top 10, and there's a reason for that. Although it is a very cool figure and it's a very good head sculpt, I don't feel like it's an absolute perfect head sculpt, because from some angles it just does not look like Peter Cushing. There's no doubt of who it is, and it's really cool to have an Imperial Officer, but overall, if it's going to be a top 10 head sculpt, it needs to be almost perfect from every single angle. But if you are able to get this, this is a superior piece. It's awesome to have next to Vader or a Stormtrooper, and an excellent piece in addition to my collection. Now, this came real close to making the original top 10, but still just shy. Overall, this is my favorite Chris Evans head sculpt of Captain America, and it is available on the in-game body, not just the final battle, but also the retro 2012 suit, as you can see, and it works great being able to pair it on pretty much any Captain America body. But I think this looks fantastic. I do love the hair, love the facial expression, and this is by far the best head sculpt we've ever gotten of Chris Evans, so much so that I went ahead and added it on civilian Steve Rogers to really enhance my display. Now, for a character known for being under a helmet, Boba Fett within The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett really did show his face quite a bit, and maybe that's part of it to why it's not a little bit higher on the list for me, mainly because I'm used to Boba Fett being under the helmet. But this figure, no doubt, has an unbelievable likeness to Temuera Morrison, especially the battle scars from the Sarlacc on his face. It is extremely well done. I love the sculpting. The paint apps are absolutely phenomenal, but for me, I'm keeping it on this Nomad body and not on the actual Boba Fett body, because for me, Boba Fett needs to be under the helmet. What do you think? Am I being a little too critical? Another figure that people were clamoring for me to add to the top 10, well, this one will fall just outside of it, that being Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin from Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, For me, perhaps it's just because this is one of my newest figures, so it hasn't been able to settle in with me 100%. I'm still seeing it every single day, and it's not just really grabbing me. And I think if a head sculpt is going to be within the top 10, it is going to continually grab you. But who knows? Perhaps in the next few months, within the next few years, this will grow on me and become a staple in the collection. Now, officially breaking into the top 10 is going to be Tony Stark in the Iron Man Mark V suit-up. Now, this is a very interesting figure because there are a lot of people who have shied away from it because putting it together is kind of a pain in the butt. There are a lot of pieces, but if you can get past that and actually be able to put it all together and on your shelf, you will see that this undeniably is probably the best Robert Downey head sculpt that we have gotten to date. It looks absolutely phenomenal. I love the disheveled hair. I love the battle scar on the cheek. And if you can get past the puzzle that is his armor, it is a worthy addition. Now here's one most people probably didn't think they were going to see, mainly because I've been so vocal about the sequel trilogy, but there is no denying the fact that this is Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, and it is one of the best head sculpts that they've ever done. So much so, I kind of kit bashed it onto a Jedi body to do a little bit of a what-if scenario, as you saw. Overall, terrible film, excellent likeness. Adam Driver deserved so much better. Pulling in our first female representation on this list is going to be Cate Blanchett as Hela from Thor Ragnarok. Arguably the best Thor movie that we have ever gotten, and this is one of the best villains we've ever gotten, and I think she looks absolutely stunning, and they nailed the likeness all the way down to the pointed antlers. I think it does so great just capturing the light in the photography. And for the people asking, no, I don't need to dust my figures. This is just part of the paint app, as you can see. Overall, I wish we could have possibly gotten a rooted or potentially even a sculpted hair version to go with this, but I'm happy to have Hela in the collection. After the Infinity War version has started to grow a little bit long in the tooth, we were due for an update to Doctor Strange, and they delivered with the Multiverse of Madness version. This is absolutely the best Benedict Cumberbatch head sculpt that we have gotten so far, and as you can see, I think it absolutely nails the likeness, all the way from the cheekbones to the swoosh in the hair. This is absolutely phenomenal. Now, they do give you the Infinity War head sculpt with a third eye, if you do want to add that one, but this is by far the one I'm using moving forward. Jumping back to Star Wars with arguably the best part of the prequel trilogy, and that is Christopher Lee as Count Dooku. Now this is an exceptional sculpt all the way down to the paint apps. As you can see on the cheeks, there are the age spots, which I think is absolutely fantastic and a perfect touch. Now, regardless of the lighting and the angles, it is Christopher Lee 100%. Add a little bit of a red glow for the sabers, and you get a truly iconic look to the character. And who knows if we'll ever be getting another version of this figure, so if you have an opportunity to get him, do not miss. Now, another figure that we may never get another version of is Jack Sparrow, specifically the DX-15. Now, there is another DX version, the DX-06, but I feel that this is the strongest likeness to Captain Jack Sparrow. Now, with this figure, you do get actually two head sculpts, but I think this stern look is by far my favorite and the best of the two. And of course, it being a DX release, it does have the movable eyeball system, which only makes the sculpt that much better. If I were to have any gripes, is that the rooted hair is not that rooted and not that easy to contain, but overall, exceptional piece. Now, I've said it before and will stand by the fact that this version of Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is the best female head sculpt that Hot Toys has ever produced. Now, I have added a custom tongue to mine to enhance it just a little bit, but this sculpt is not without its detractors. There are plenty of people that think the expression is just a little bit too goofy, but to me, I think it's absolutely perfect and represents not only the character, but the emotion behind the character, and that is perfect for me. Now for this one, you're going to be getting a double feature, a Joker double feature of Jack Nicholson's Joker from Batman 1989. But starting off, we're going to feature the DX-14, the Mime Joker. I think it's the better sculpt overall, but I don't care for the paint apps. Now this one, I think, is the absolute show stealer, the DX-08, the definitive version of Jack Nicholson's Joker. Now, there are some issues with it, and as you can see by looking at the nose, it is prone to having some of the paint wear off very easily. For some of these shots, I did have to use a little bit of cosmetic Photoshop to hide that. But as you can see, this is the iconic villain that I grew up with. From the iconic grin to the movable eyes, this is just an absolutely stunning figure. As I've said, the nose is the biggest issue for mine, so if anybody knows how to fix that, please let me know. And now the silver medal belongs to none other than Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars A New Hope, represented by Sir Alec Guinness. This old wizard, as he is known, certainly has one wizarding sculpt, and it looks absolutely incredible, especially when you have the hood up. You can create so many iconic scenes from that first Star Wars movie. Now this once again is a figure who knows if you'll ever get a reissue of, so if you can find it, it is pricey. I highly recommend adding Old Ben to the collection. And now, the reigning champion, still after all these years, is Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy, portrayed by Michael Rooker. Now, I don't know what it is about this figure, but it just has it. Maybe it's the blue skin. Maybe it is the interchangeable headpieces that you can put on. Maybe it's the outfit. Maybe it's just the mystique of the figure and character himself. I don't know what it is, but this thing is special and holds a special place in my heart. And I think most collectors will agree this is the best head sculpt that they have ever tackled. Will it ever be dethroned? Well, I don't think so, at least not anytime soon.
Well, that's going to do it for us here today. My top 15 best Hot Toys head sculpts of all time. But now it's time for you to let me know down below how I actually did. Which ones were your favorites? Which ones did I miss? Which ones made the list that you think shouldn't be there? And obviously, which ones do you think I definitely should have included? Let me know down below. And of course, if you like this type of content, as I said at the start, please make sure that you are subscribed. I would certainly appreciate it. As always, happy collecting, happy holidays, and I'll be seeing you in our next video.